Today, I told you guys, I'm gonna have on Angela Myammee Pitts from the VH1 hit TV show Flavor of Love. She was on, I don't know if it was a year ago, year and a half ago, but she's on again to talk about what she's doing and talk a little bit about her journey. Everybody has a journey when it comes to HIV. I'm gonna bring her on, and then I'm gonna read a little bit about her, and then she'll go from there. Okay? So give me 1 minute. Hey, Angela.
Hi. I'm trying to share on all of my Facebook pages right now. I'm trying to see how I can do this. Like, I've never done a live, so ever. So
okay, well, you go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna go ahead and read this. Okay, Project A&M, short for Project Anna in Myammee.
Yes.
Was founded by Angela Myammee Pitts, daughter to one of Miami-Dade County's most recognized HIV advocates, Anna Wyman.
Yes.
That is Myammee's mother. That's Angela's mother. And then it says Angela is now currently. I don't need to read all of that. We'll go into that. And like I said, she received her nickname Myammee from the VH1 reality show Flavor of Love. I Love Money. Angela's mother, Anna Wyman, was part of the early groups of HIV/AIDS diagnosis in Miami County.
Yeah.
And after giving birth to Angela's twin brothers, David and Douglas Wyman. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Okay. After her mother gave birth to her twin brothers, Angela, you were 3, right?
Yeah, when they were born, I was 3, and she didn't find out till I was 5.
Okay, and so then in 1989, her mother found out that she was HIV positive, and Angela was 5. Myammee was 5 when her mother found out. Myammee's twin brothers, David and Douglas, tested positive, and Angela tested negative. At the age of 5, in 1992, one of her twin brothers passed away. And then at age 9, in 1996,
yeah,
her brother Douglas passed away. Her mother, Anna, worked at the University of Miami.
Yeah.
With the HIV/AIDS adolescents and helped those in the HIV community by educating and advocating, speaking out at national conferences, and making a bold difference with the way she communicated with her approach in all the programs locally and nationwide. That must have been tough, Angela, to deal with that, your brothers and your mother. That's your immediate family, you know?
Yeah.
So, how old were you? And then her mother passed away. How old were you, and what year was it that your mother passed away?
My mom passed away right after Flavor of Love wrapped. So that was 2008, May 2008. So she saw me on the show, but she did not see me on the reunion. So I was, how old was I? I was like a year out of college, and just starting this new life out of college, and God took her, and now she's just living her best life up there. I know she is, but I wish she was here though. I can't lie. I wish she was here. So
Myammee and her mother had Angela talked to her mother about the idea of starting an organization, and this was in 2008.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen with her and her mother because her mother ended up passing away May 2008. So that was just a few months after they talked about the plan.
Yes.
So Myammee went on and did this herself. She went on and did this herself um, in memory of your mother, because this was something that you felt that you needed to do. And I think I remember, it's so much to read, but I think I remember um, reading that she said, you better be prepared
Yeah,
when
that's
you
what she
do this.
said.
Why did she say that?
She said that at that time, she was tired, right? And now knowing, after I went through all of her stuff, I realized she was going to this cancer because she had developed liver cancer on top of being in a hospital. So she had liver cancer, kidney failure, along with her HIV being transformed into AIDS, being diagnosed with AIDS, along with having the liver cancer now there, along with having her kidneys failed in the hospital at that time. That's what took her away. Basically, that's how she passed away, because she had those three things along with having an AIDS diagnosis. So she was just tired. And now I think back, I know why she was tired. She didn't tell me why she was tired. She just told me it was a fight. And I knew it was a fight because she had been doing this her entire life, longer than I can remember. I remember being in high school, and it'll be times she have to go out of town with the university, and she has to go out and speak and go fight for more rights for whatever, fight for medication, tell these people about the medication, how bad it was, fight for grants for the University of Miami, for her department in adolescents, young kids. So she had did so much, and she was a part of so many organizations. Like, I have to literally look for her resume and look at all the things she was a part of. But I know she was tired. She told me she was tired. She told me she was thinking about leaving the university at the time. And I was like, well, the show is about to air. Let me use my little bit of fame. I think I'm ready to come out. Because at that time, I didn't tell anybody my mom was HIV positive. At that time, I was still scared because I didn't know how people was going to perceive me. But something came over me. I don't know what it was, but I told her, I'm not scared anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care anymore, So I was happy I had that conversation with her, and to let her know I wasn't scared anymore, So she was just telling me, like, wow, like, and just know this is going to be a fight. This is going to be a lot, So, and I told her, well, I'm your daughter, so of course it's going to be a lot, and I'm ready for it. So it's nothing. I'm just like, I'm just like you. I don't know verbatim what we talked about, but I know it's summed up in that amount of words, So I'm gonna get emotional, people. So don't mind me. I'm fine. It's just the memories of me sitting in my car talking to her. So, but yeah, so that's how that went. She just told me it was going to be something, and it has been something. So, I'm just happy to be here today, to be able to not be ashamed anymore.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay, girl. These are good memories. These tears are good memories. So don't think it's bad. It's just sitting there talking to her about that at that moment. It's just flashback to me real quick. So,
how old were you when she told you that she was diagnosed with HIV?
Well, I remember being in elementary. I remember being in kindergarten. So I remember kindergarten very vivid. I know I had a friend who, me and her, we are still friends today. Her son is my nephew. Like, I remember us being in those classrooms, and I knew. I just couldn't say anything. And then as I got older, my brothers were right behind me, and we went to the same school. So I remember my brothers going to school and still keeping my mouth shut. And I remember being at elementary school, and I think one of the teachers or a few people found out about my brothers because my younger brother David was just so sick. Like he had just started kindergarten, or pre-K, whatever it was. And he got so sick and the word got out and everybody ended up knowing in the class. So it didn't come on my end as much because the kids my age were 3 years older than me. 3 years older than them. So it didn't circulate to us that quick. But I remember they found out. Yeah. And that was like scary because again, this was like 90, like this was like 91, 92, 90, like everybody side eye, everybody like,
there's stigma now, but the stigma was really bad in the 90s.
Yeah, like can you imagine like you're in class and people find that out and they like, oh, you stay in the house with them? Oh, you eating, you share the bathroom with them. Like I couldn't say nothing. I had to literally just keep my mouth shut. Like I couldn't talk about it. I could not talk about it. So that was something too, not being able to talk about it when you're hearing everybody around you saying something negative about the people that you love and people that's your family, and going home to that knowing, okay, everybody was just talking bad about this HIV thing that my mom told me about. Now I'm home with them, so it's just like as a child, I don't know, like it just set with me. All of these. I'm trying to share this.
Let me ask you, did you even understand what HIV was or what it meant in elementary school at all? If you did,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
What age were you when you began to realize exactly what HIV/AIDS was?
I started to realize, and I'm looking on Facebook right now, you guys. I'm trying to log in. I got like 2 pages here, so let me get on my other page and try to share it real quick.
And then Bernadette says she's sorry for your loss, and you are honoring them now.
Oh, thank you, Bernadette.
And then Melvin lives where you're at, and he says, hello, Angela. I need you to come talk with my Speak Out Club for HIV/AIDS at my school. I'll give you his information.
Okay.
I still have your number, Melvin. I can pass it along to her if you like. And then let's see. Oh, Melvin says we're in this fight together. You guys, please share this because people need to hear this. We all go through, I keep calling it an HIV journey. There's so many different journeys that people go through. And when you say an HIV journey, somebody thinks that, people tend to think that it's somebody diagnosed with HIV. And people need to realize that there are family members that are affected also because of a family member. And it really does need to be talked about. This is not a usual day that I have my show, but Myammee could do it on Wednesday, so that's why we're doing it today.
Sorry,
I want to thank you, and that's okay. I want to thank you, though. I want to thank you for being on, and tell everybody about your nonprofit, and we'll talk a little bit more.
Well, I kind of like transitioned it a little bit to I'm gonna go back to the first question you said. You said how old was? No, what did you say? How old was I?
How old were you when you realized
whatever it was?
And then when you did realize what it was, how old were you?
Okay.
What did you think? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I think I realized what HIV was probably like for real after my first brother passed away. Now, even though I knew the words and how to say it, well, back then it was really like nobody really said HIV a lot. They normally said AIDS a lot. So I knew what it was due to the groups that we were in. So even though HIV was early on, like the beginning phases in the early 90s, there was still like these groups that, these support groups where my brothers and me, we used to go to, and they used to give us little things to do or whatever. But I realized it was something different. I realized something was different. I realized, besides my mom just sitting me down, talking to me and telling me what it is and what we need to look out for if blood was to happen in the house. You know, we always had those type of talks, and to call her or whatever the case is, and not to touch, you know. So I remember those talks in the house. But I think after my first brother passed away, I realized, like, this is the thing, like, people was joking about, like, this is it. Like, when they said, you know, you're going to die, like, all this stuff, like, it was like becoming a reality, because it was like, oh my God, like, my brother just died from this thing that that's this AIDS thing, you know, as a young, I'm 7 years old, 8 years old, or whatever the case was. And, I knew what was going on. Again, my mom did not hold anything back. And to this day, I'm happy she didn't, even though it affected me in a different way growing up, but I'm still happy she didn't hold it back, because if she would have held back and I didn't realize till 50,000 years later, you know, like, I don't know how I would have been. So I'm happy to have the journey to get a heart for things like this now, because if I didn't live through that then, I wouldn't be who I am today, you know. So
thank you to your mother.
Yeah. So she was
because a lot of parents don't share a diagnosis with their children at all.
Right.
A lot of people don't share it. My daughter was 8. My oldest daughter was 8 when I told her. I think it's needed, and it's a good thing that your mother did, because you wouldn't have any knowledge about HIV at all.
And no sensitivity about anything. You know, like, I'm sensitive to a lot of things about, like, just not being so judgmental when it comes to different type of health, anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause you never know, health, homelessness, like, all of that stuff, like, everything that's supposed to be a bad thing, right? My mind is triggered to think of it in a different way, because you never know what people have going on, you know, like, for a long time, nobody didn't know anything. Like I said, that was up to, I was 20 something. This is like 2000, like 8, 9 after she passed away. Like, and I still was.
You never even spoke about it to anyone, even after she passed away.
Yeah, I told my best friend at the time. I told her the day of she passed, and I said, "This is why my brothers passed away too." And I told her, she was the first person I told. And then I think after her, I told, like, one of my exes at the time. And then I just got comfortable, and I got on social media like a couple of years later and just said it, you know. But at that time, even though I was just discussing it about my mom, being ready to talk about it with my mom, but just seeing her pass, it was just like a hit to me, like, oh my God, like, I can't believe this thing just, you know. I was just so nonchalant with her. Like, I thought she was not going anywhere, because I'd never seen her in nobody's hospital. I never had to visit her in nobody's hospital. To me, she was always healthy. I never seen her at no weak moments. And if she had weak moments, she never showed them to me. I never seen her weak. My brothers passed away. I barely saw her cry around me. I saw her cry at the funerals, but she never was around the house moping. Like, she always showed me strength. So when she was in the hospital, I'm like, she gonna be fine. She gonna get out of here. Hey, Isha, she gonna get out of here. Like, but when she left, it was just like, this doggone AIDS, you know.
I call it
this doggone cancer, this doggone kid, you know. But yeah.
So it all just hit her. It just hit her all at once, and that was it.
All at once,
because it was
time, and
so that's what caused it.
Yeah, she didn't go in the hospital for anything else. She went in the hospital because her liver cancer was getting bad, And she didn't tell me she had. And that was the thing. It was like, Mom, you told me about the HIV, but you couldn't tell me about the cancer. I don't know. She probably didn't want me to be too worried because I was just leaving FAMU. And I don't know if she was just like, I don't want to put extra pressure on her. You know how parents, you don't want to put extra pressure on your kids. But it's like, that call, like, I would never forget that night she called me. I was in Atlanta living. I was living in Atlanta. And she was like, you better come down here. I'm in the hospital. I'm like, what you doing in the hospital? Not you. Not Superwoman. You know, like, I know you're not in nobody's hospital. And she was like, yes, I'm in the hospital. They're telling me I got liver cancer. You need to come see me. And literally, like, within a month, she was gone. So.
You made it to see her, though, did you?
Yes. I made it to see her. I was staying in Atlanta. I came down. I was staying with my grandmother at the time. And I was just staying down here, just visiting her. And if I had, like, at the time I was doing events for VH1, I was going out having to do these parties on the weekends. So I would have to still fly out, like, on certain days and do these parties and events, you know, to keep the money coming in for me. And come back and, you know, visit her the days I visited her in a hospital. It was hard towards the end to visit her every day because I seen it progress. It got worse and 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 worse. So, so she got in veggie state. I saw her in that state. And so, yeah. I don't want to cry off my lashes, girl.
Yeah. Let me tell everybody where they could find you at, and we'll talk about the organization and nonprofit. You can find Myammee, well, Angela Myammee Pitts on Instagram at Project A&M Inc. on Instagram.
Yes.
And on YouTube, you can find her Project A&M Inc. And that on Facebook too.
Yeah.
Myammee has a lot of videos on YouTube.
And you know, you say that's a lot. I feel like it's not a lot. I feel like I slack.
No, I love them. I told you I get an alert every time they go off. From the last time you was on the show, I subscribed. The videos are nice. They're bright. They're vibrant. She's just perky while she's talking, while she's educating. You guys really gotta watch these YouTube videos. They're really good.
Thank you.
Every time I watch somebody's YouTube video, I'll be like, dang, why my videos don't look like that?
Girl, trust me, it's a lot. That's why I don't have
no, but they're really good. They're really good. Her website is, of course, www.projectam.org.
Yeah.
www.projectam.org. And if you want to email her, you can email her at Project AM. That's capital AM. Project capital AM Inc. INC at gmail.com. Project capital AM Inc. at gmail.com. But let's talk about the nonprofit and where you want it to go.
Where I want it to go. I don't know what I just did. Hold on, let me close that. Playing around with this thing. My goal is to, one of the goals that is coming to fruition right now is I just partner with CDC and their Act Against AIDS campaign, the Doingit campaign, the Doing It My Way campaign. That was one of the goals because I want to continue to do things on my end, which is advocating and doing the best I can in advocacy, doing the best I can, educating on my end from my platform. But my goal is to really now get inside and do like consulting and do like just get out there in different areas, different markets and help other people get their platforms and get their message out when it comes to HIV. So I want to use my personality. I want to use my face. I want to use everything I have to be able to help those messages to get out. So if it comes down to working with the CDC, you know, and they have this big HIV campaign going on, which I'm so proud to be a part of. Along with, I just partnered up with my University of Miami, the adolescence department. I'm going to do some videos for their kids under 24, so ages 13 to 24, you know, and trying to educate. Yeah, and trying to educate and help them communicate with their sexual partners, help them have the conversations with family, help the families try to understand when it comes to disclosing to the kids and how the kids should, you know, have those conversations with their parents who are positive and the kids who are not positive. So I've been shaping, since the last time we talked, I've been shaping the things that I've been wanting to do. And that's basically what I'm going in that avenue of, is working with people who are like-minded like me, who want to see HIV get eliminated, want to see the HIV prevention, protection, testing, know your status, continue to get into treatment for those who have a positive result, and why that is so important to be in treatment, to get it undetectable. You know, like, it's so many layers with it. Like, I want to be a part of that, because that's part of everything that I stand for. Of course, it's prevention. And of course, is the kids who are now being born from mothers who are positive, and they're becoming like me, you know, a child that has a positive parent, you know. So I have that little small foot in the door to be able to talk to those kids, and try to get their mindset that their mom or their dad or their grandmother or their granddad is going to be fine, or their aunt, whoever their caretaker is, who are positive, you know. So it's just so many layers, girl. Like, I'm just here to add my juice and my sauce and add my how the kids say now, my drip, you know, and make sure we get this message out that, you know, getting tested is needed, and knowing your status is needed, and you have to stay in treatment that is needed, and working as hard as you can to get to undetectable, and not feel shame if your undetectable status gets eliminated. You know, it's so many things.
I don't know if you know. Have you heard of U equals U?
Say it one more time.
Have you heard of U equals U?
Yes. U equals U. Okay. It means undetectable. You have sex with somebody, you ain't getting no HIV, in so many words, right? I'm part of the HIV going down. So yes,
I'm part of the steering committee for U equals U, and it started 2 years ago, with a man named Bruce Richmond who started it.
Okay.
Anybody who wants to know any more about U equals U, you can go to preventionaccess.org, preventionaccess.org, and you can read more about it. Since I just wanted to mention it. Okay. People that are diagnosed with HIV are not transmitting HIV.
Exactly.
And that's because they are staying adherent to their HIV medication for 6 months or longer, and which that means undetectable.
Right.
So there are so many different organizations that have signed on. It's the science behind it. The CDC has signed on. Janssen Pharmaceutical. There's a lot of organizations who have signed on. Health departments in different states. I should have printed out the list. If I would have printed out the list, I would have been talking forever. But there's so many.
I know.
So I just wanted to bring that up just to let people know that are watching that people diagnosed with HIV are not transmitting HIV.
Exactly. They're having healthy babies. Okay.
Great lives, just like anybody else.
Right.
Like anybody else. And it's just like you and a friend of mine, her mother passed away from AIDS. And she said she wished she would have listened to God at that time. And she wouldn't have waited so late to advocate
Wow.
after her mom passed away. She would have educated herself a little more, more, not a little more, but more on HIV. She's very educated now, and her mom's passed away, and she started an organization too. I'll hook you up with her.
Yes.
She is where you're at too.
Yes.
So let me see here. And I know it's a Wednesday, so usually there's more comments. Anybody have a comment they want me to ask?
I know why.
Myammee. And let's see, fighting AIDS was okay. It says that you left the with the memories of what she witnessed. That you left the memories of what you witnessed with your mother and your brothers, and is now bringing awareness, educating and eliminating stigma to help change the world's perception on HIV.
Yes.
Being considered as a affected family member because of the experience you faced in your household growing up. Angela wants to bring everyone together, both affected and infected, their families and friends, to join forces to help seize HIV. She believes that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I like that. Yeah.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And I stole that from Benjamin Franklin. That's fine. He don't need it. I'm using it now. So,
he's not even here. He don't need it anymore.
He don't need it anymore, but I appreciate it because now I'm going to use it in this round of HIV prevention because it's so true. One of my questions I always ask people who are living with HIV, who are positive, I always say, it's so fine line to be an advocate to promote that you're going to be fine, if you are diagnosed with HIV. But I guess I have a question for you, like real quick, like what would you tell me as an advocate when it comes to trying to do prevention, if the fine line is you're going to be fine, which you are, so it's hard to, sometimes I find it hard for myself as an advocate to promote it's okay, and then also trying to promote to prevent, So what, I guess,
just keep doing what you're doing. You promote prevention, of course. We have to promote prevention to let people know that they need to get tested with their partners. They have to get tested with their partners, not by themselves. And to look at everybody as if they're diagnosed with HIV. That's the prevention part. They need to use protection. Even if their partner or the person they're looking to sleep with comes up negative, they still need to use protection because HIV stays dormant. And you still won't know if somebody's diagnosed because they would need to go get tested again. What was the other question?
No, basically, from your point of view, how would you promote to prevent without? I guess the thing that I'm coming in contact with is if HIV is okay, and if HIV is, I can live with this forever and I'll be fine. So I don't need to worry about prevention. Like, I'll just take the medicine like everybody telling me. Like, I'll take the medicine and I'm going to be fine with a smile on their face. Like everything is cool, but it's like you still want to do prevention. Like, what is your message for prevention? I guess my question would be to you to tell me, just keep
going. Message for prevention for those that are diagnosed, that are on their meds?
Who are not.
Oh, the message for prevention for those who are not on meds but diagnosed.
They don't know their diagnosis yet, but they don't care. Either way, like if I get HIV, it's fine.
You just have to keep telling them that they have to protect themselves and look at everybody as if they're diagnosed. A lot of people And I hate to always, I don't like that I always have to do this. Especially in the Black community. It's taboo.
It's so real. It's so real, D. Like,
I know that it affects us all. I trust me, I know that. But I'm on that side because when I go out in the community to talk, they don't want to talk to me. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to take a pamphlet. They don't want to take condoms. They just walk away. And that's tough. We just have to keep voicing our awareness and educate as loud as we can, because that's the only way we're going to get to people.
Yeah.
I think social media, Angela, plays a big part in people who don't want to talk about it. They can learn more by listening to social media advocates. I think it's broad. It helps a lot of people who are behind the scenes.
Right. And it's more personal. They get to listen and read on their own time. They get to watch on their own time and not forced to go to a big event to listen, so I get that. But yeah, that was one of the issues that I was coming across with being down here and doing advocacy work and doing awareness stuff. And I would not forget the conversation I had with a young gay male. And he was just telling me that if I get HIV, it's fine. Like, I'll be fine. Like, so what? Who cares? They say we're gonna live normal. So I really don't care, Myammee. Like, I was just like, how do you promote? I know we can't save everybody. I understand that, but it just comes to that mindset of they're really thinking that it's okay, which it is. But it's just still at the point where you still want to promote prevention. You still have to promote prevention, because some days it's not fine. I remember you did a video not like a week or two ago, and you was just like, some days I'm just tired. Like, I'm over it. Like, but I'm going to keep trucking. I'm going to be strong. I remember you posted that video, and you were speaking out to all people who are, positive, and telling them, like, we don't have these days, and I think sometimes there's a lot of campaigns about, oh, everything is okay, but then they forget to hear about some days it ain't okay. And this is why prevention is needed, so you don't have to get to the point of those days that you guys come across, and the days that my mom hid from me, so it's just such a fine line right there, man. It's such a fine line to promote both, to prevent, and also to promote that this is 2018. Everything is way better than the 80s, so it's just a fine line that I have witnessed on my own end, and I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing regardless. But every time I come every time I come in contact, I just want to always ask different people like you or whoever else, about you guys' point of view on that. I interviewed Quintara Lane. I don't know if she's even in here, but Quintara Lane was born with HIV. She knew my mom. My mom embraced her and helped raise her in so many different ways when it comes to mentally being a child of HIV. And I asked her the same question about that, of how do we promote both at the same time. So she told me to, let them know that it ain't easy, breezy, beautiful color girl, we living longer. That's what she told me, in so many words. I'm saying it in my words now, but we living longer, but still, I still want people to get, to know their status and to prevent themselves from being in this situation. So that's all. I just want to hear your opinion on that. And I always like to hear perspectives. So
thank you. Look, someone named Tiffany here says it's not okay. So if you are, be in treatment. That's what's important. But you want to remain negative at all costs. Yes, you want to remain negative at all costs.
Right.
I think people need to be aware, and that's why I always say HIV still exists. Every time I start the show, people need to remember that HIV still exists. I think they forget.
Yeah, they forget.
People get comfortable and they forget. They forget. And so I think we just need to keep stressing that HIV is still here. Still here, it's still here. So in order for people to not contract HIV, you have to get tested and you have to use protection.
Right.
It's best to get tested early to find out if you have contracted HIV so you can get it.
Right.
And I think a lot of people get scared to find out, but they're not realizing that they can live a long life if they find out and get on treatment.
Because of all the history behind, right? Because of all what we always knew about how it used to be. And I think that's why people they're still stuck in their mindset. So
tell me this.
This is fun, girl. I'm loving this. I love video.
I know you do. When you started to let people know, did you get backlash? Did people think that you were diagnosed with HIV?
Girl.
And did it bother you at all? I know you heard some things.
I got a lot of backlash from everybody on all sides. Okay, I got backlash from people who are positive. I got backlash from people who just still ignorant. I got backlash from everybody. But yeah, I didn't let it affect me like that to stop and halt and cease and pull back, delete, no more. I don't want to talk about it. No, it made me get even stronger, right? Every time I keep doing stuff, like no matter what I'm doing, I keep coming into stuff like this, and it's just giving me more fuel to keep going, to remember how my mom was, how she was just so like she was so bossy, like she was just such a boss. So I no matter what people say, I get you sure you ain't, or you was in the house with them, you sure? Man, people on YouTube are crazy. I know you probably witnessed that yourself. Some people on YouTube are just, I don't know where they from, but they watch.
Sure, you was in the house with them. Look, you can contract HIV from being in the house with somebody, but that's the ignorance,
Sharing the toilet seat with my mommy and my brothers. Yes, I did. Showers. We ate on the same floor. We didn't have no plastic knives and forks and spoons and plates in our house.
Yeah.
None of that. My mom washed dishes. Sometimes I wash dishes. So it is what it is. So, but yeah, I got a lot. I got a backlash. My very first video I ever did on YouTube was my first story, and I put it on Facebook too. And I was living with HIV, like the memories of it, right? And I used living with HIV because
I guess people was like, what?
Yeah, like what, you living with HIV? It's like, yeah, like I'm still living with it. Like I would get teary-eyed right now. I just did in the beginning of this podcast, because I'm still living with the doggone memories of it. Like I'm still living with as if they're still here. Like I still get emotional, just as if it was yesterday or this morning. So I'm still living with that. And I use living with HIV because I am like that. It has constructed me as a woman, my mindset on sex, my mindset on a lot of things, so that's my truth. And I don't care what nobody says. I don't care how they view me. I don't care. At this point, I don't care. I care less. And
I mean, Angela, why should you?
I don't care.
Why should you? You have people that are diagnosed with HIV. They don't want to wear a shirt that has to do with HIV because they're scared someone's going to think they have it. There are people that are not diagnosed with HIV that don't want to even share anything on their page to help bring awareness or educate, because if they do, they're afraid someone's going to think they're diagnosed with HIV and they're not. My thing is, if we don't share the information, how can we help anybody?
We can't.
How can we educate anybody? So I'm telling anybody, everybody out there, who cares? Especially those that are not diagnosed. Share this information. You're listening and watching. Share it.
Yes.
Share it and give this information to somebody else because they need to hear it. They need to hear it. Well, they do.
No, it's true. No, it's so true because I saw this post floating around Instagram and it said why y'all out here showing that y'all getting tested and what you worry about somebody thinking you have HIV. It was some crazy post. I could find it right now and show you. But I was just like, people got to show they're getting tested. I started sharing my test videos within the last week because I had to show, like, it's not about you showing your results. It's about, we have to show people that it is okay to go get tested. Now, everybody ain't gonna put it on social media. Everybody don't have to put it on social media, but just to say, just like people go say, I went to go vote. Vote for Andrew Gillum for Florida governor, by the way. But I have to go vote, you know? Like, people say, I went to go vote today. I went to go vote today. Look at my little sticker. I voted today. And it's like, okay, I got tested today.
Yeah.
You know, I got tested today. They used to do that before. I don't know what happened within the last 5 years, but I remember that was popular. Like, I got tested today. But now it's like, why you got to tell everybody you got tested? Like, it's awareness. Like,
if people need to know.
Do that, nobody else around in their circles and people that look up to them, they're not going to think it's cool either. You know, it has to come to the point where people have to start learning that their health is so important. Like, it ain't just, I just did a video the other day and I posted it. It's not about health with food. It's not about health with you working out. It's not about health when it comes to being spiritually connected and loving on our Jesus, Lord, Savior, my Lord. You know, it's not about all, it's about, you cannot forget about your blood either. You cannot forget about your blood. You have to do everything together. Check on your blood, which is your immune system when it comes to HIV. Your immune system is one of the most important things as a human being. You should want to know what your immune system got going on. You need to go check on that. And it's okay.
I like how you said that. You need to go check on that. And they do. They do.
You need to check on that. Like, that's your blood. You can eat greens all day. You can work out every day. You can pray every day. Like, you can do all of these healthy things that you should do every day. But if your blood ain't right, your body ain't gonna function right. So you have to take care of your blood too. Like, that should be on your checklist too. Like, that's what I'm trying to promote now. It's like, don't forget about your blood.
Yeah, I seen that one.
Yeah. Because it's so true. Like, you can have everything lined up good, like around here stunting and shining and dripping and, you know, swaggy and all of this stuff. And your blood ain't on point. Like, come on, man. You got to know what's going on. And when you do find out what's going on with it, you got to go ahead and treat that blood right. Treat it, take care of it, get on the treatment, get to undetectable. What's the new slogan you say? You equals you. What is it called?
Undetectable, untransmittable. You equals you. I'm gonna send you some information. You can do a YouTube video and you equals you.
Yeah, you equals you. Because they just like they're just going down with that now. You equals you.
Yeah.
We always just know about undetectable. But now it's like.
But yeah, you're right. Everybody needs to take care. I say take care of your sexual health. It's up to everyone to take care of their own sexual health. It's no one else's responsibility but yours. That's it. That's all. So if someone did not tell you that they were diagnosed with HIV, I always say that's your fault because you didn't ask. Everybody is not going to tell you that they're diagnosed with HIV.
No.
You have to be responsible for your sexual health. So please make sure that the person that you are thinking of having sexual relationships with gets tested, and you go along with them and you get tested also. I mean, that's the only thing we can tell you to do.
Yeah,
you have to get tested.
That's all, because you can ask them all day, they're gonna say no.
And they still gonna lie. There's a lot of people that are not gonna tell you.
Yeah, or
everybody's not
they don't even know their status. Like, it's been 50,000 years. They don't know. So they're gonna say no because they don't know. And you can't go off if they don't know. You gotta say, okay, if we gonna have sex today, tonight, or whatever, y'all, you know, wherever you go, You got to say, okay, we're going to do this. It's time. We got to protect ourselves. Like, I want this just as much as you want this, but we need
do not be embarrassed.
Either we need to protect ourselves, or we could go get tested right now and we can have so much fun after, or you got to find a way to know what you got going on, because this 2018, man, like, you would never ever know. You would never ever know. You know, like, and not even that, you have I always say this on my videos too, you have the opportunity to go get a test to find out. When my mom contracted HIV, it was no go get tested. And this is 80. I don't know if she contracted in 85 or 80. My brothers was born 86. So that guy she was with was after my dad. So I don't know if it was 85, 86 after they broke up, but there was nothing out there saying, hey, Anna, you should go get tested. You know, hey, know your status. It wasn't out there back then. So they didn't have the opportunities as people have today to protect themselves and to love themselves enough to say, look, bro, I want my protected. It's not worth messing up my immune system. Like, I don't think people understand what HIV is. Like, HIV will get your immune system so low if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't know your status, if you wait till a day before your numbers are 1 or 2 or 3, you know, like, come on, man, you have to. Don't have me. I'm gonna go out.
I know it's frustrating. I see you. It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Let me come.
But you're right. And you saying that there was nothing back then. Say, oh well, Anna, you need to tell your mom, Anna, you need to go get tested.
No, it was for white gay men, right? In the 80s, what it was, gay men.
I contracted HIV in 1997, bro. In 1997, I had no thought in my head at all that I would even contract HIV. I never thought about it. I never talked about it. Nobody around me I knew that was diagnosed with HIV. There was just no thought in my head about HIV. So when I found out that I contracted HIV, I'm like, what is going on? Yeah. You know, I was lost. I was so lost. So I get that part. It was what, 92 that your mom contracted HIV? Was it in 92?
No, see, what happened was she had to contract it before she got pregnant with my brother.
No, she found out in 92. She
found out in 89.
80.
So when my brothers were
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
your brother passed away.
So when my brothers were 2 years old, they were so sick. And if my brothers were sick, they wouldn't have found out when they found out, because if it wasn't for my brothers going to the hospital and they were so sick, they had like a crazy pneumonia, and probably their numbers were very low. You know, their cell counts were very low, and they didn't have all that technology term like we have today about numbers and stuff. So they were so sick, and they ran tests, and I have a letter that she wrote. And I don't know if they probably said, let's test for HIV last, because they were kids. So
your mother found out your twin brothers contracted HIV, and then she was tested.
Yeah. So after they found out what was wrong with my brothers, like why they're so sick, like, and I'm thinking that they had to say, I would have to find a letter and read, but I have a letter that she wrote, and she put it was a lot in the letter, and I still have it. When I had to go through her things, I found this letter with my brother's pictures, and oh my gosh, she had pictures of my brothers in the casket. Like, that letter was with that. So they found out because my brothers were super, super sick. And my dad just got in here. Hey there, you're supposed to be in bed. But they got super, super sick, and the doctors ran the HIV test, probably the last few tests, because they were kids. This is 1989, when HIV was only supposed to be for white gay men, or gay men, period, or people in jail, you know. And when they found out my brothers had HIV, they tested my mom. Then my mom had HIV. Then they tested me. And that's how the test happened, because my brothers got super sick in 89. And that's how that happened. So
that gave her a timeline of who she probably contracted HIV from.
Right.
Since you didn't, and the brothers and she did.
Right.
Wow.
So her and my dad had broke up like right after I was born, like after my first birthday. I don't even think they was together probably when I was born. I don't know. But yeah, they had already had separated. She had started dating somebody else, and that guy was the guy. And I will never forget, because she used to always talk bad. And one of my uncle, who I just lost, Ozzy, I just lost him like a week and a half ago. He hated this man. I remember this man came to our house. I stayed at the same house for like from age 3 till I left to go to FAMU. So this man came to our house, and this was after we found out. And my uncle he used to say, "I can't believe that so and so came and knocked on their door. I can't believe," So everybody knew it was him. And I guess he had eventually came out and said it too. And I don't know if he got it while he was in jail. I don't know if he got it through drug use. I don't know if he got it through another man. We would never know. Only he would know. Yeah. But he finally came out and said it after the fact. And that just, that was a whole different ball game. What happened between him showing up to our house and.
Oh, she froze. You froze, Angela. You might have to cut off and come back. I'm going to read a couple of the comments. Donna says, I was told I was in a low-risk group being married. When diagnosed, I was told I wouldn't have known until I was sick in the hospital. This can happen to anyone today, undetectable and free. Today, you're undetectable and free. Yes, that's a blessing, Donna. You're undetectable and free. And me reading what you just said, they're always saying low risk, low risk, low risk. But now when you really think back and think about it, Raquel always says this. You know who Raquel is. She says, those that are at high risk are those who are not HIV positive, those who are not using protection, those who are not checking their HIV status. They're at high risk. I don't think there's a particular group. It's just like when I first contracted HIV, I used to say, how did I contract HIV? How? I used to say, I wasn't a sex worker. I know sex workers and they not contracted, so how did I contract it? I mean, and it's true. It's true. That's what I used to think. But it doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, where you live, how old you are. HIV is not, I forgot what I was going to say. HIV is not gonna hide from anyone. If you're gonna contract it, you're gonna contract it. It doesn't matter who it is. We're all we all can contract HIV, period. So that's what she always says, and I know you hear her say that all the time. I was telling somebody named Donna that people at high risk are those that are not using protection, those that are sleeping around and not caring who they're sleeping with and not using protection at all. Those are the ones that are at high risk. It's funny to say this though. People that are diagnosed with HIV on meds, Angela, our health is much better than so many other people because we're always at the doctor. Yes. The smallest thing that goes wrong, we want to make an appointment. Yeah. We're really healthy. We're very healthy. So yes, Donna, it doesn't discriminate. HIV does not discriminate. What were you saying? Do you remember what you were saying before you froze up?
I don't know. Probably going off all around town.
And then someone here says, I am very surprised to know that there are still people in the world who look at HIV/AIDS as a thing of the past. I don't quite understand this, and I don't quite understand the seriousness of the disease. You don't quite understand, or they don't quite understand, Roy.
Maybe.
Yeah. People in the world who look at HIV. No, it's not a thing of the past. But I think because it's not talked about enough, people think it's a thing of the past. I seen a commercial 4 days ago. I don't see it every day about HIV. And I just smile when I see it. I'll be trying to hurry up and grab my phone so I can take a picture and put it up, but I haven't been able to catch it where I can take a picture. So it's nice that I'm seeing it. It's not as often as it should be, but at least there's some commercials. I don't know if anybody else out there is seeing commercials on HIV, but I've been seeing the same particular commercial. I've been seeing
commercial.
Donna says,
a commercial on internet.
It's on streaming. Well, it's live TV. So yeah, it's live TV. Donna says healthy and active. Yeah, we are healthy and active. Stigma is the disease we are fighting today. Oh, Donna, we are fighting stigma.
Yes.
Something serious. It's terrible.
Every day.
Okay, and again, everybody, let me tell you where you can find Angela at again. Please, you guys, you gotta go to her YouTube videos. I love her videos. She's on YouTube. You can look up Project, capital A&M Inc. INC. And that's on Facebook and on YouTube. And then on Instagram, she's Project, capital AM INC on Instagram. And her website is www.projectam, that's capital AM.org. You can go to her website, and then if you want to email her, you can email her at Project Capital AM Inc. That's INC at gmail.com. And if you didn't get that, when this is over, you can rewind it and you can listen to it again.
Exactly.
Is there any last words, Angela, that you want to give to everybody that's listening before we close?
Oh my God, last words make me nervous. Okay. I'm so used to like on YouTube doing everything I want to say and edit it and okay, so my last word.
Oh, I didn't even see you put that up because I was reading.
My last words, this is like for everybody, right? When it comes to family, if there's somebody in your family who has revealed to you, or a friend, or a colleague, or whoever it is that you're very close to and you care about, they have revealed to you that they are HIV positive, just know, just try to support them and just support them as if they don't have HIV. Like nothing is going to hurt you in any way, to treat them like how you would want to be treated as well. So that message is for those family members and those people who have to support people. If they just heard them say, you know what, just be open, just listen, just care, and that's it. You don't have to add nothing else to it. Support them for anything. People for prevention purposes, man, like as we spoke about earlier today, you have to find out what your status is. There's no status of, I don't know. There's no status of, I got tested like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. No, if you're sexually active, I don't care if it's one partner. I don't care if it's drug use. Whatever it is, it could be 1 million partners or one partner. Okay, because it only takes one. So you go find out your status. And if you are sexually active, you need to at least be testing at least twice a year, minimum once. If you could do 4, great. 4 times a year is amazing, right? But at least go get tested. Like, you have to at least know what your status is. And I know it's scary. I know it's terrifying, because yes, your life can change when it comes to taking medicine every day. But my next video I'm putting up next week, it says that people who are diagnosed with HIV and people who are not share something in common. And guess what they share in common? You have to watch my video. But we all share something in common, okay? And I'm going to reveal that. And we all share something in common that we have to do for the rest of our lives, no matter what side you are on, okay? So I just want people to realize, like, it's nothing wrong with knowing your status. Go get tested, know your status. People who are diagnosed with HIV, and you know it, and you have not been going to the doctors because you have been fearful in whatever way you feel like, what's the point? No, you need to go to the doctor. You need to keep up with your treatment. You need to get to that undetectable status. You need to be and if you can't get undetectable, because I heard some stories about people feeling some type of way when they cannot reach the undetectable status, it's okay. Just go to the doctors as often as you can and just check up on yourself, because you may not have to just worry about HIV. You have to worry about other stuff too that all of us have to worry about. You need to be going to the doctor because
take care of their health.
Your health, period, right? So you need to make sure there's nothing else developing along with having HIV, and you need to make sure all of your medicines work well together, no matter what else you have going on. So my message is to everybody, family, friends, positive, negative, at risk, not at risk, whoever, and share when you can, when you see something amazing about HIV on social media, and whatever it could be. Just share, just talk, just say something, or just send them to my page or D page and let us handle the rest. So
thank you, Angela. And she is absolutely right. You are absolutely right when you tell people treat people diagnosed with HIV as a family member the same as you always have. Nothing has changed about them. They are still the same individual they were before they contracted HIV. They're just living with the virus. That's it. Exactly. It's the virus. I call it a super virus because it is, but they're just living with the virus.
Exactly. Take that from somebody. Exactly. Take that from somebody who stayed in the house, who was a child with 3 people surrounding her, and nothing happened to me. So chill out, relax, and enjoy the program, and love on them as if, and if they get on your nerves, they get on your nerves. But love on them as you can, and don't treat them different. Like, that's it. So that's all. That's my last word. And follow me everywhere. Social, like she said, Project A&M Inc, YouTube. And again, make sure y'all doing
I'll put your details in, and then they can go in there and subscribe that way on my page.
That's cool.
You guys I'm gonna keep saying it. You guys gonna like her videos.
Thank you, T. I appreciate you, right? I appreciate you right now, right? Because
I appreciate you too. I'm so glad you came on again.
Amazing, girl. It's amazing. If y'all don't know, I love you, and for what she's doing right now, this is amazing. We need more of this. And if we don't have more, if you have a story or something, reach out to her. She always reaches back out. She always supports everybody who's out here trying to just do advocacy, who's just trying to bring awareness. And you don't find it everywhere, D. So I appreciate you right now, and you keep doing what you're doing, girl, because this is change. This is going to change lives. So keep it up. And I thank you for welcome me in like you did a couple of years ago. She welcomed me with open arms. So I really appreciate it. To do that. Yeah. You did.
It has been 2 years?
Probably a year. I had just started. And what's so crazy, when I just started, it kind of took off faster than what I thought. And it reached a lot of people.
That's good.
Than I expected. I didn't expect it to reach as many people as it did at the time. So, coming in contact with like people like you and many others, it was just like, oh my God, like, Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep doing
All
them.
right, Donna wants to know your page name again. You can give it to him again. Somebody's asking, but Donna, I'm gonna put her video up too for her Instagram, and then you guys can go on there and subscribe. When the show is over, I'll put her YouTube up.
Yeah. Or you could just, guys, you could just go to projectam.org. It takes you straight to the YouTube page. And you could just put Project A&M on like Instagram on the search, and it should pop up.
Okay. All right, everybody. You know I gotta put these little plugs in for everybody. Am I missing anything else for you guys?
For free testing. So CDC website has free testing locations. You put your zip code in there, and you can find all your free locations where to get tested. So,
you guys, I always say this. We have one life, only one. Live it happy. Live your best life because we only have one. There's nothing else left to do, being diagnosed with HIV or not. Look at Angela. You frozen, girl. You frozen. Okay, everybody. This is Positively the discussion. You have to remember that HIV still exists. You have to get tested. And if you have contracted HIV, you can get on medication and live a better, healthier life.